Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Welcome back to the channel. Thank you as always for checking out this video. Really appreciate your support. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Shout out to the 19. I swear, it seems like these things come in bunches, don't they? I mean, we didn't talk about L. Duncan forever, and then it was like 3 different videos I had to do on different stuff in the span of a few days. Just dropped an Asia Wilson video all about her playing the skin color card constantly, playing victim, being delusional, lying about everything so she can get her shoe deal before Caitlin Clark. I didn't even bring up that when she was talking about how she's held back because of her skin. I didn't even bring up the fact that she's had a statue already erected at South Carolina. We didn't even get into that. Well, she's decided, she has decided to make it even worse. And this isn't even about skin color. This is about the narcissism and the insecurity and all that because she doesn't want anyone to be able to say anything that is critical at all about Asia Wilson. No one should be allowed to do that. So what she wants to do is tighten that bubble. What do I mean by that? Well, she's going to talk about who's allowed to talk about sports. Yes, you heard me say that correctly. Shocking, I know. It's almost like Caitlin Clark fans who have come into the WNBA have noticed how much the league is about gatekeeping instead of growing, and they're all like, "No, no, it's not that. You're just the most awful people ever." And yet, you get stuff like this, which sounds a little bit like gatekeeping.
What's your take?
Reporters should be able to play the sport that they're reporting on.
100% agree. I think that it's egregious.
Yes.
If that's a word. That's
It is not a word. Just to be clear, clown with the I don't even know what to call that hair thing. Anyway, it's not a word. Keep going.
somebody could report on something that they've never played before.
Never played before.
It's crazy.
And we can maybe dull it down and be like, not necessarily play the sport, but at least a sport. Like sweat a little bit.
So if you've played basketball, you could maybe report on baseball.
Yeah, because you've been in that element. You've been in that locker room. You understand the feeling a little bit. And then you just learn it. But to play no sport at all, but yet have everything to say about it, it's kind
What's your take?
Is some of the most god awful, arrogant, dumbass stuff I've ever heard. I'm just saying. Like so, and especially when they made the twist about a sport and they used basketball and baseball, which are completely different. So let me get this straight. If you didn't play a sport, but you're really intelligent and you've watched that sport and you've analyzed that sport and you've learned everything about that sport to the point that you could probably make a pretty damn good coach, you have no right to talk about that sport, to have an opinion on that sport, to do analysis on that sport. Yet somehow, if you played basketball, then it is okay for you to have an opinion on baseball. I think I think another migraine might be coming on. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to feel it because this this hurts my brain. I it's so hard as a common sense person myself to try and wrap my brain around the delusion and the absurdity in a statement like this, and then whoever this fool is like 100% agree. But as long as you played a sport, you can talk about all the other sports that you don't know anything about. You don't have to know anything about them. You just had to have played a different one. Really? This is what we're doing now? But it sounds on brand for the WNBA, doesn't it? Um, and of course, off the top of my head, I can't think of specific people, but there are a lot of smart people out there that have not played a sport, but they can speak on the sport very intelligently and very insightfully because they have been students of that sport their entire life. They have watched that sport. They've as a fan, maybe they've given their life to that sport. Um, hey, correct me if I'm wrong. For any of y'all, I can't remember now. I knew the story before the movie came out, right? But Moneyball, Brad Pitt, I was one of those. Like as a younger, all the sabermetrics, all that advanced analytics stuff that I think has got too far and ruining the game. That all came from this guy Bill James, who was a laughing stock for a long time with baseball, and now he's like the man. Um, I would read his baseball abstract when I was a kid. They were coming out that he would self-publish, and they were awesome. But my point being, what's his name? Oh man, I can't think of. But the kid, the guy that he hired, right, to do all that analytics. If you saw the movie, uh, the man didn't play. The man didn't play the game. He revolutionized baseball, but he didn't play. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe he did. Now, okay, maybe he played when he was like 7 or 8, but you know what I'm saying. So to that point, and what is great is that they made the other sport thing and said, oh, as long as you played a sport, then it is okay to opine. I don't know what country we're living in, but it doesn't sound like America. And it's the same, right? That's the thing where it gets absurd because there are certain topics we know that people say this about. So you could say this about anything. You can't have an opinion as a song if you're not someone who's ever written a song or sung a song, or you can't have an opinion about the guitar solo in that song because you never played guitar. You can't have an opinion about a book because you never wrote one. Y'all getting how dumb that is? You can't have an opinion on the rain outside because you've never been rain. Yeah, that takes it to an absurd level, but it's kind of that point. I wanted to play one more clip for you. This is perfect timing for this. So, especially when you're getting on the other sport, Keyshawn Johnson. I really don't have anything against, but this is why I said, like you can see here, it says he's asked about Indy and the New York Knicks. So we'll listen to that. You can probably read my comment but I'll do this first.
Yeah, I think so. Um, I think they should be the favorite because when you look at it, Indy's taking care of a Cleveland team that we probably overvalued, all right? And then we kind of a little bit undervalued Indy to a degree. And when you look at the way the Knicks have played against Boston, which we all will agree, even though Boston was not the number one seed in the East, they were probably, felt like at the start of this whole thing, they were coming out of the East, period, no matter what Cleveland was able to do. And the Knicks are just rolling. Nobody can stop Jalen Brunson. They just rolling. It's Nickville, and the garden is cracking. Everybody in the house, and it's a crowd of just not only celebrities but passionate Knick fans.
So you think the Pacers are going to get intimidated going into the Garden?
100%. Indy versus New York, it ain't. Come on, man. They're not used to that.
That's a rivalry.
Okay, now first, if you're easily offended, close your ears for a few seconds. Is it me or did Joy Taylor look like she just went through some serious contract extension? She looks wiped. But anyway, so there you go. He's Sean Johnson. Now I don't know if maybe he did play basketball when he was a kid. He might have. So which makes it this even more relevant. But obviously, an NFL receiver and a good one as well. So the Knicks are favored because the Pacers in New York playing at Madison Square Garden. No, man, they not ready for that. Now you may have seen what I wrote already in response, but here you go. Pacers not used to that. Pacers beat Knicks in Game 7. That would be the elimination game, the game at Madison Square Garden last year, 130 to 109. All of sports media are uninformed clowns. Watch us YouTubers for the real stuff. So Asia Wilson would say that Keyshawn is the one to be commenting on this stuff. If you're just a fan, which by the way is why Asia Wilson's allowed to play basketball for a living, the fans, you can't have an opinion. Keyshawn can. It might be the dumbest, most uninformed opinion in the history of the world, but it matters because he was an athlete. Oh man, these people never learn. They want to destroy the own league in which they play in. Because I'll tell you what, you keep up that drumbeat of the fans can't have an opinion if they didn't play. Eventually, you get to the point where those fans walk away, and then you have no league. You understand? There's no league without fans, no matter how good you are. And they happen to like the media. I mean, well, I should say they like the media, but that's how they're able to connect and follow their teams. And, for a player to be gatekeeping that is absolutely absurd. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, appreciate you checking out this video. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Go have the day you deserve, and I will talk to you later.